Hi, everyone. Well, some of you have heard me talk about Big Records or Rise Up TV. Well, my guest knows all about it. He's going to explain how it came about for him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet Mark Rosen. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. I think, and I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me about what we're doing here at. It's actually bigrecords.world.
Okay.
Is the label. That's our record label, and Rise Up TV, as you mentioned, is a television show. It's a reality / documentary show about what life is like on the road for musicians, and it's not as much about live shots of music as it is who the people are. And when you get into, let's say, 18 people in a bus who are sleeping on the bus and traveling from city to city, it's interesting what you see and what you hear. So this is our television show, and it's called Rise Up TV. Okay. And I guess, where do we start?
I want to know when you started, when it all started for you personally.
Interesting. Well, this goes back about 9 years, I would say. I'm 55 now, just turned 55. And so about 9 years ago, if you can imagine a person who was a musician most of his life and got into his 30s and tried some different things, as what happens is, if you're not making money as much as you need to live, you have to try a few other things. And so I went through about 10 years of that. And in my 40s, I decided to go back into music. Okay. And which, was not popular with parents and family members and this and that, but something told me I got one life and I got to use it. With the creative side of me just cannot stand the same routine every day and this, and I got to have that hope of me. So I got into music managing, and the ups and downs of that. I had a bit of a different vision. I felt that the old music business at that time, 2010 and 11, the old style music industry was dying, and we could all see it because of the internet. It basically destroyed people's income.
Yes.
And so everyone was saying, well, how do we get back to that? How can we fix this? And I basically was probably one of the few that said, it's not going back. Don't bother looking back. Go forward. What's the next thing? And, I was always taught, my father taught me, if you want to be successful, go where others are not.
Right.
So I went into a direction where I felt musicians with Facebook and all of this, at that time, it was even MySpace, I think, that way back then, Tom, I felt that musicians were saying, hey, this is great, Facebook, we can promote our own music now. We don't have, and that was great for a while, but then it became flooded.
Yeah.
And just almost useless. It was like, again, you can get everything for free here, so why would anyone pay anything? So I felt that musicians needed to be completely free and independent, but they also needed some of those old school record company things like leverage to create festivals and money from sponsors and these kind of things. And that what they needed, what artists most needed at all levels, was going to be a place they could go where they didn't have to give up their rights to their music.
Right.
It could be totally free and pay for a service yearly with a company that would, in exchange, bring them old school label, big opportunities, small opportunities, leverage, connections, all of that. Just the things that a label used to do, but not the control. And so I had to find a way to make it affordable to get that start so that they could, get everything they need. And that was the beginning of that journey of figuring out how to do that. Now I had to find the right people to team up with. That was a struggle at first for the first 4 or 5 years, until I, but isn't anything, you learn as you go.
Yeah.
And today we're worldwide. We work with over 70 artists signed to us.
Wow.
We're providing opportunities in every single thing that you can imagine, big, small, medium, whatever genre, whatever age. It's never too late. So that's more or less what, I figured if I could create a system where artists were, of course there's a cost to doing everything, whether it's marketing, touring, everything, but they need opportunities for revenue to come back, and they need opportunities for connections that they can't do, and they're working jobs a lot of times, and so they need things done for them while they're at work. So we're in a position where everything's affordable. We've got happy artists. We've got, lots of incredible things going on, just even within the company. That we're pretty happy, but we're not satisfied. We're going bigger and better always. So
very good. Because when as you're talking, I'm thinking, what do performers want? Performers want to perform, right?
Yeah.
And the more they get to perform, the happier they are, and it benefits everybody.
Yeah. And boy, the changes we've gone through with COVID and everything.
Yes.
With COVID, there wasn't the opportunity to perform, but we kind of kept going with all the things we can do. And in some cases, we even toured during COVID. Example, if we couldn't find any venues open, we went up into the forest. we had shows up in the forest. We filmed it for a TV show, right? And so there we are with the squirrels and the bears, providing a show in Montreal. I think it was in Montreal, might have been, somewhere up in there. Anyways, with our TV show, of course, we were essential service as well, so we could still do some filming and whatnot under the film and television idea of it. But we put together sponsors during the time. We planned many tours. We planned filming. We did all kinds of radio releases and press, and we have a weekly meeting every Monday night. All the artists, the ones that can make it, that are on our time zone.
Right.
We have a Zoom meeting, and this past Monday, so it's Wednesday now, the 14th or something like that, 13th, I don't know. But anyway, 2 days ago, we had our artists were in a Zoom meeting Monday night with 2 established grant writers. And so they were able to ask all the questions that they want and get advice and all that. And one is a juror on the factor board, and one is an established, having received many grants. She had a lot to say. And this latest artist got up to $60,000 from Factor.
Nice.
And so having his advice there was great. And then having, so these are the support things we're doing. And of course, we have all of our digital campaigns and kind of whatever an artist needs at whatever level they have. We're connected to Live Nation. We're connected to television, Netflix, everything. Sony Orchard is our distributor, plus Universal Music Group.
Oh, right.
And so we're doing tours upcoming this 4/20. So the 20th of April, our TV show is in Atlantic City, New York area. And there's about 6 artists jumping on our tour bus,
right,
and driving around doing 5 shows in Baltimore, New Jersey, all of that area, and sleeping on the bus, and all the fun that happens there. So that's next Wednesday, the 20th to the 24th. We finish in Baltimore. The mayor of Baltimore is coming out to the show. And so we're going to capture all of the fun that happens there. And that becomes an episode on riseupTV.
Okay. I didn't realize that connection. So that's great. Okay.
Yep. So, gosh, we've got Rise Up festivals that we're doing. We're doing Shenandoah Valley in Virginia in August. That'll be a beautiful area, and we're doing North Carolina. We're doing Huntington Beach in California. We're doing Niagara Falls coming up as well. And I'm trying to think if I'm missing in Dallas. We're going to be doing a festival in Dallas in the summer, and we're building Rise Up festivals around the world. We're going to be coming to Ireland and Cambodia and, all of these destinations. If you remember Anthony Bourdain, I don't know if you do, but he had a reality show where he traveled the world and
Yes.
and see, he'd go into a place and he'd get to know the people, the locals,
yes.
the food, the geography, what it looks like there, all that. Well, picture that with musicians.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So that's kind of what Rise Up TV is, and we've got lots of other initiatives happening to it. And of course we set up tours and shows, and I'm really proud of the group that we put together. They're very passionate. They care about artists first.
Yeah.
And so the service level in joining, I tried to make, like, over the years, I think my first client I got like 9 years ago, I charged, I think, $1,000 for the year. I mean, that's ridiculous. But I wanted to make sure that as I built this plan, that there's more value coming back than what was being charged.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're up to about $3,200 a year to work with our team. And there's far more value coming back than what we charge.
Right. The whole thing sounds very exciting. I think if I was a performer, and wanted to tour, like what a fabulous opportunity. So not only am I touring and getting to perform, but I'm also on part of the reality TV, right? That's all sounds.
Well, what artists need is opportunities. I'll tell you, when people first talk to me, they're most interested in, can you get me a gig?
Sure.
That's number one. Number two, can you get my shows onto or my songs onto shows, or commercials or feature films and that. So TV and film licensing opportunities. And those are the first two that they always love to see. And yeah, we do that. We do all this stuff. We have agents, we have, publishing deals and this and that.
Good.
One of the people that we work with owns half the catalog of Sony Music. And so I try not to sort of put out any unrealistic expectations, but those are the first two that there's interest. Now, everybody has where they're at, where they're starting from. There's all kinds of people out there. There's some that haven't done anything, so they need all of the instruction right from the start. How do I do this? And we can save them a lot of time and money by telling them, okay, this is the best thing and this doesn't work, because we have people who know these things and are doing them all over the world. And then we have people who may have been big, had a great career 30 years ago, but things have changed. They're wondering, how do I make money now? How do I, and so some of the biggest names, come to us and say, well, I did this, I won a Grammy in the 90s or this or that or whatever. And they're shocked at how things have changed. They just don't know how it works.
Yeah.
And what they have to do is they can be productive in music again. They can achieve things, but it's a whole different sort of method to the madness now. And I think, to be honest, it's better. Artists, there's all kinds of stories about the record companies years ago, having what's called 360 deals, and they own you. And they put out money to make you a star, but then they own most of the money. And, that's not good. And so there's that aspect of it. For established artists, really have to wipe the slate clean, and they have to say, okay, how does it work now? They have to be prepared to do things differently than they used to. But at least there's more opportunities now. Like an artist starting out would never have the opportunity of connecting directly to Netflix or something, 30 years ago or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah. I mean, I think it's also fascinating. So where's your head office? Or do you have?
It's right here. You're in my bedroom right now. Yeah. This is my head office. This is where I do business, and everybody on our team works pretty much out of the home.
Right.
That's the way things have happened. And this is where COVID didn't really affect us, to be honest, because we all just kept going forward. It affected the artists, though, because some of their infrastructure of their living, how do they make a living every day, that has been really affected. So we can just cross our fingers that all of these restrictions are behind us and that we're going forward now. And I would hope that for all the artists and all the people out there. I have my doubts as to what, is going to happen
Yes.
come fall time. But right now, restrictions seem to have been taken off. And so I try to balance, I do a lot of research into where things are going. I have to, not only for the music business, but for my family.
Right.
So I try to be a person who's up to date on the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
But I live my life every day to live for today, enjoy today, not worry about tomorrow. And that's what I was taught growing up, but I didn't really understand it. We're given values and standards from our parents and our grandparents and whatnot, but quite often we're like, yeah, whatever. And then as we get older, we understand why those things are. Yeah.
Yes. So now the name of your company is it Rosner Management? Is that the
little bit of a story there. I was a manager with Rosner Management, is the company, for close to 8 years. And in the last year, things just started to go way beyond what, it's not really a management company, it's a full-on label. So we changed it to bigrecords.world.
Okay.
And that's what we are now. And, we have a riseupTV as a corporation in the US. That's a separate, owned by me, and a fellow by the name of Jimmy Allen Sign, who also owns buses and these kind of things. And so we've got some really good partners and some really great artists. And some of the team members we work with are actually former artists who did well and, had an interest level for helping people and on the team. And that's how it grows.
Right. That's really interesting. Well, one of the things I want to do is I want to make sure I get this aired before the 20th. So I will do that, because the beauty of me being independent, I can air these whenever I want, which is really nice. And I certainly enjoy, for me on my end, promoting whoever I can, or helping whoever I can through my talk show, So I'm going to do that. And I think we're just about out of time. I think we covered everything that is most important, I believe, but I'll make sure that I'll include the bigrecords.world so people can hook up on there. Anybody wants to.
Sure. Right? And they could, my email is rosnermanagement@gmail.com. If anybody wants to get a hold of me, that's the old email, but it's still the one I use.
Okay.
And I'll hook you up too. It's important you meet Pamela, Pamela is our, Pamela Harbottle.
Yes, and I've interviewed Pamela.
Oh, nice. Okay, great. That's the connection.
Yes,
okay.
That's how I found out about you. Like she had suggested I interview you at one point, and then it got lost sort of in the works. Then I thought, oh, I remembered something about who you were, so I looked up. So
anyway. That's great to hear. So definitely send this to her. She'll spread it out on our network and
for sure
and all of that.
So just hold on. I just want to say goodbye to the audience. I hope you found this really interesting, and if you're a musician out there, you're really going to enjoy this, I think.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Take care and peace out, everyone.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community where you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.